Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Fear the Queer.
A show that talks about everything on our queer agendas. I'm Kyle.
And I am a Bimini Bomb Boulash fan named Josh.
Oh, babes, I love Bimini Bamboo Lash.
Bimini Bomb Boulash.
Can we just talk? I just want to have a moment of UK Hun. I remember watching and saying this to you about Bimini Bamboo Lash. I was like, where are the pads?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand it. She, first one. I was wrong. I am such a Bimini fan. I love her. So happy she's doing so well. And also, I love Lawrence Chaney. So if Lawrence Chaney or Bimini won, I would be perfectly happy. I also love Taste too. I just don't think she's going to win. Anyway, that's what I got to say, babes.
Yes. And for those of you who have no idea what we're talking about RuPaul's Drag Race UK, if you are living under a rock. Yeah.
If you're, or in America, but you can watch it. Episodes are available on Wow Presents Plus or downloaded illegally. But I don't know who would do that.
Not me.
Not me. I don't have the technology. It's not
right.
There.
So for today's episode, Kyle and I are going to do yet another March Madness. With this edition, we are going to be taking the past 10 Best Supporting Actress Oscar winners, and we're going to be ranking them from 1 to 10. Thank you so much!
I like you. I really like you. Bravo!
Snap out of it, babe.
Oh, snap out of it. Look at that. Look at that gold trophy. Oh,
right. It's my boyfriend's, and it says Best Director.
Oh my God. Wait, he won an Oscar for Best Director?
He won a Best Oscar Director. What am I saying?
He won the Best Director of the Oscars.
Sorry, I'm just so overwhelmed.
Sometimes the emotions take over you, and a gold statue is just all you want to take home. Congratulations on winning your boyfriend's award.
Thank you. I think I deserve it. But before we get into the heart of our gay agenda today, Kyle, what are we drinking?
Well, let me just say this. I don't know if I remember mentioning on the podcast, but I definitely mentioned to you that I ordered a soda stream.
You did mention it many times on the podcast.
Well, let me just say it one more time. Soda stream, not sponsored, but hey, soda stream, you want to get into a queer market? Get into the LGBTQ, sponsor us, because let me say this. I am enjoying fresh, sparkling water that is flavored with a brand bubbly grapefruit. And here's the bottle. It is so easy to use. I've only spilled it a few times. And so I'm drinking some fresh sparkling water.
Oh, that was sexy.
Sorry, I got some on my face. I'm gonna pour some more into there. And it's great because you can drink it just as bubbles, which I look at all those bubbles. Oh, it's like a commercial. You can drink it just as a soda water, or yesterday I put a little bit of vodka in there, and let me tell you, it was fun. I had a good time.
A bubbly vodka soda?
Bubbly vodka soda with grapefruit flavoring. And oh God, I recommend that if you have an extra $220 lying around, go ahead and purchase it for yourself. It will save me money in the long run because I have a tendency to buy a lot of sparkling water cans. So
that's true. I guess in the long run, it does save you money. Which is funny.
What are you drinking?
Well, I'm just drinking water, but next time I'm going to bring on a drink that I made last night from one of my adult approved home products. Check out one of our latest episodes about that. So I just bought a magic bullet that I use mostly for smoothies, but I forgot you can make margaritas out of that.
That's right. Oh my God.
So last night I had a really tasty margarita, and next time on this show, I will make sure to show you my margarita.
Who doesn't love a margarita, dear?
Right.
All right. Well, cheers, queers.
Cheers, queers.
Oh, clink, clink. That shit is fresh.
Oh, I love that drink.
Oh, I love that drink. Okay. But before we get into the heart of the queer agenda, we would like to have a new segment called By the Way, in which we talk about someone who is bisexual that maybe we didn't know about. This is because so often bi erasure in our culture happens. And we just want to highlight someone who may be a celebrity, maybe a historical figure who may have been bisexual. And I say might have been because some people never officially confirm it. So they have to talk about it via their friends or letters, and we kind of have to read between the lines.
Or I was gonna say they might just casually be like, by the way.
By the way. And because it is similar to Catch That Queer, we are used to talking about these things. I will say it's a little different than Catch That Queer.
Just a little. We like to include a lot of various people under the LGBTQ plus, umbrella. So, why not give the spotlight to bi historical figures?
Get under my Ella,
A. All right. Would you like to present your by the way person first?
Let me just say, by the way, this is my first bisexual person that I've chosen to talk about. And the force is strong with this one. It is Sir Alec Guinness.
Ooh.
Who played the original Obi-Wan Kenobi in the original Star Wars trilogy.
Which, okay, I have no shade to the great Alec Guinness. When I first watched Star Wars, I thought it was Ian McKellen.
Well, that's okay. That's all right. Both are fabulous queer people.
Exactly.
I love Star Wars. It is probably like the nerdiest, geekiest thing about me. Because I'm like not a big comic person. I'm not like a big, but Star Wars, like that shit is my shit. And I fucking love it. So when I found out that Sir Alec Guinness was bisexual, I was like, all right, well, let's look it up. So it turns out
he has tons of porn videos.
He has tons of porn videos with men and women. No. So he never confirmed his bisexuality openly. Okay. And back in like the 1940s, it was pulled up that he had been arrested and convicted of a homosexual act. What that was, we don't know. We know that the police obviously target queer people. So it could have been anything that could have been suspicious to the police. Alec Guinness was married to a woman, but one of his good friends, and it's funny that you brought this up, Sir Ian McKellen, had a discussion with him one time, and they were talking because Alec Guinness was getting nervous because Ian McKellen at the time was being so open about his sexuality and becoming more political and getting more into LGBTQ politics. And that for Alec Guinness made him very nervous because he was like, you're a leading man. It's going to like ruin your career. I really don't think you should be open about it. So unfortunately, Alec Guinness was actually quite ashamed of his bisexuality, it seems. And he had a lot of like internal strife when it came to that. And we didn't even really understand, or not necessarily understand, but we didn't even know about this until after his death in 2000, when letters and different historical factors started to pop up, like the arrest in the 1940s, that kind of like pinpointed him into being bisexual. And then in 2014, Ian McKellen he was giving a speech and he brought up Alec Guinness and kind of like inadvertently confirmed the bisexual rumors.
Oh, what speech is this?
Way to call me out. So in my notes, I just have that he was actually giving a speech that was like for like
in the park.
yeah. He was on the subway. If you're me, he's in a subway getting a tuna sub. Not anymore. But he was like giving a speech for like LGBTQ pride or something like that.
Okay.
And had talked about how coming out actually, though a lot of friends had said it would hinder his career, it's helped his career and it's helped who he is as a person. And he brought up Alec Guinness saying, don't do it because it'll ruin your career. And Sir Ian McKellen said that Alec Guinness had a lot of self-loathing, which kind of then alluded to him being bisexual, amongst other things. So The force is strong with this one, and I wish that maybe he would have been more comfortable with his sexuality, and that could have been really good for him and a lot of other people. But I also,
Yeah.
as like a Star Wars fan, absolutely love that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's quite, I feel like it's very nice to know that the OG Obi-Wan was bisexual.
Yeah,
Didn't he get nominated for an Oscar for that performance? I'm like 95% sure he did. I
he
don't,
may have.
yeah, I'm like 95% sure. I mean, Alec Guinness has had like an amazing career.
Yeah, oh
So,
yeah, oh
so
yeah.
we can't take that away from him. Hopefully, now that he's at peace, I hope that he is wherever he is, if people believe in that,
In a galaxy far, far away, babe.
I didn't even think of that till you put two and two together. That was clever.
Well,
Golf clap.
Thank you. A little round of applause for this Jedi Knight.
For Sir Alec Guinness.
Yeah, for Sir Alec Guinness, our first, by the way, person.
So my star of by the way is a very what's the word I'm looking for? Influential human being. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word. Yeah. He is quite possibly one of the most influential scientists and agriculturists of the early 20th century. It's George Washington Carver.
Mr. Peanut?
The Peanut Man. Yes.
Yeah, the Peanut Man. Wow. You would think your arch nemesis since you're allergic to peanuts, but go off, sis.
I was going to say, ironically, someone who's very allergic to them is highlighting George Washington Carver here. For those of you who are, again, unaware of anything historical, George Washington Carver is credited for having figuring out many different ways of how to use the peanut in a very cost-effective way, though apparently he did not actually make peanut butter, as the rumors have been said. I know, I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah, apparently he does everything but that. Could you imagine if he just discovered peanut butter one day, on the shelf of a grocery store? He's just like, well, what the fuck?
He was like, I thought this was my thing.
Yeah. And apparently he also did things with sweet potatoes. Apparently he discovered how to use sweet potatoes in shoe polish. Yeah.
No wonder shoe polish is so delicious. Oh my God. I didn't know that.
George Washington Carver was a creative little thing, for sure. So in 2015, a biographer named Christina Vela kind of actually brought to the spotlight that George Washington Carver may have been bisexual. Though apparently to a lot of other historians, apparently it wasn't any big secret. People just didn't really know about it till her biography. Mm-hmm. So he never married. He did have 3 different relationships with women at the time, but up until his death, and this is always a great indicator, he had a roommate.
Okay. We know what that's code for.
Right. Oh my God, they were roommates.
They were roommates.
So he lived with a fellow scientist named Austin W. Curtis Jr. Now, this is just a rumor. It's never been proven, but apparently they used to walk hand in hand together, going into the office and, checking on their science experiments. It's never been officially proven, but I would love to see that image. And they lived together until his death in 1943. So obviously there's no actual proven facts saying that he is bisexual, but there's a lot of good indicators that it was.
Yeah.
And I mean, at that time, I bet you they didn't even really know what it was either, if that makes sense.
Well,
and, it was queer, but it wasn't what we think of bisexual today.
Well, and I think that our society does have a tendency to be very binary when it comes to sexuality. Mm-hmm. You have to be gay, you have to be lesbian, you have to be straight, you have to be bi, you have to be, it's and I think that historically, there wasn't always, not way long ago, but there wasn't always the definition for what homosexuality was, mm-hmm. Or is rather. So if you don't even have the definition for the binary idea of it, I don't know if you would have a word to describe bisexuality until, some years later. That being said, obviously bisexual people have been around forever, right. Since the dawn of time. So I can't like imagine
Adam, Eve, and Steve, ladies.
Yeah, Steve was the serpent.
Mm-hmm. Steve was a serpent.
Yeah, Steve the serpent. I read that in the Bible. I did.
I know, I'm just imagining like a snake with like a little name tag that just says Steve.
He's coming down the tree and he's just like, "Hi, I'm Steve the serpent." And Eve's like, "What? Oh my God. Why is there a talking snake? God, oh my God." He's like, "Yes, Eve." A little bit of Bible humor for you.
And now, to get to the heart of our queer agenda today, we are going to be doing another March Madness. This time, we're going to be taking the past 10 Best Supporting Actress Oscar winners, and we're going to be fearing them or queering them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because Kyle and I love to talk, there's a few ground rules that we have to keep it focused because we like to go on tangents here. So,
that's true.
The criteria for this ranking is 1, did we like them in the role? 2, do we fear them or queer them as actors in general? And then 3, the legacy of the performance. The final rule is that we have a 5-minute timer in which we have to get out all of our opinions about said actress within 5 minutes, and then we have to move on to the next one just to keep it real here.
And honestly, that I think is a great thing because I can't do anything in 5 minutes. Like nothing. So like this will be an actual challenge. And I know you like to have a challenge. I almost just spilled my drink. Oh, sorry. I know.
Not your soda stream.
Not the soda stream. Now available places. Now available. I'm gonna have
now available places.
Soda stream. I'm here for you. Now available places. Making sure I'm pouring it in my glass. No, but I think that this will be great. I definitely have thoughts, opinions, words that I'm using. So we'll get into it. And it's fitting because the Oscars were pushed back this year because of the Panera and everything being shut down. So like it's kind of like, I don't know. I'm gonna have fun today. I hope you have fun too, Josh.
This will be fun. All right. Are we ready?
I'm ready to fight. Wait, what?
Oh.
Ooh, no.
All right. 5 minutes are set on the clock.
Okay.
And we will start in 3, 2, 1. All right. First up, we have Melissa Leo winning in 2010 for her role as Alice Eklund in The Fighter. Kyle, you go first.
Okay, so I just thought the film was fine. I think that she is a good actress. Did I think that this was really like, the end all be all for me? Nah. I thought it was just like, okay. And quite honestly, I don't think the legacy of the film really is doing anything for me personally. Because that year, Haley Steinfeld, she was up for her role as the little girl in True Grit. That's right. And I really enjoyed her performance. So I don't know.
Well, and if
it just was like not my favorite thing.
Well, and if you think about it, Haley Steinfeld is still way more relevant than Melissa Leo is now.
Right.
Yeah. So I agree. The legacy of the performance is not the greatest. If anything, I don't really think of her when I think of The Fighter. I think of Kristen Bale usually.
I think of or Amy Adams, who is also up for that role.
For one of her 12 nominations that she has never won.
Oh, she's like the young Glenn Close. She's never going to win.
Right. Yeah. So one thing that kind of turned me off about Melissa Leo, and this is why like I ranked her pretty low.
Go on.
It's actually her Oscar speech. There was a moment that seemed so disingenuous and phony that I just was like, okay, I'm not in for this like performative winning thing. She is like, when I saw Kate do this 2 years ago, I thought she made it look so fucking easy. Oops. And like covers her mouth. It's just like, okay, girl, like
we get it. You said fuck.
Yeah. Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, it's hard to even fill 5 minutes for this role. Like, this one is not a challenge for me because I'm just like, in general.
Yeah, this one I don't have a lot to say about it. I personally, she wasn't who I was rooting for. I put money on Haley Steinfeld to win. I also was like, oh, she's so young and so talented. Or even Amy Adams, her co-star, I would have put in that slot. But the fact that Melissa Leo won, I don't know. It's also interesting. Sometimes I think that people win and then their careers are kind of done. And I think
especially actresses.
Yes, and I think that the Academy sometimes does that purposefully. So maybe they thought, okay, we'll give it to Melissa Leo, and then she can be done, and because they saw potential in other performers.
Maybe. You know who I would have given it to?
Who?
Barbara Hershey in Black Swan as Nina's mom. I thought she did great that year.
Oh, I forgot about that.
But she wasn't even nominated, so.
Yeah. Well, you can write in your answer. Do what you want.
Right. Oh my God. If we could just write in all of our answers for the Oscars, I don't think 90% of them would have won. Like the people who I would have chosen.
Yeah. Honestly, I would have written in Harambe.
Yeah.
There's a throwback for you.
So we still have 1 minute and 40 seconds here. Do you have anything else?
Well, what do you want to talk about in that 1 minute and 40 seconds? Because Melissa Leo is not it.
I was going to say Melissa Leo's done, girl.
And I love a Leo as a fellow Leo, but it's just not it for me.
So I'm going to assume safely that you are queering. No, wow, I can't get this right. You're fearing this performance.
I'll fear the performance. I think that she is a good actor. I think that the performance was okay, but I think that my SodaStream soda is better.
I actually don't think I've ever seen another Melissa Leo movie.
Maybe if we saw her in more things, we'd like her more. I don't know.
Maybe. Who knows? All right, Melissa, you don't even get the 5 full minutes here because I'm running out of things
Sorry,
to
Melissa.
say here.
Sorry.
Yeah. And we completed that in 4 minutes and 10 seconds. All right.
Wow. What do we win?
I guess our dignity. I don't know.
I need to get that back.
All right. On to the next performer. Are you ready, Kyle?
Yeah. Let's do it.
3, 2, 1. All right, next up is 2011's winner, Octavia Spencer, in The Help, playing Minnie Jackson. Kyle, what do you think?
Okay, I love Octavia Spencer. I'm sure I've talked about this before. I think she's an amazing performer. Ma is my unironically favorite movie of, 2019? Mm-hmm. I loved Ma so much. I think it is so ridiculous, and I loved her in it. Along with another Oscar winner that we have on this list, Allison Janney. But she, in this role, I think she did really well for what the role was. And I'll admit it. When I first saw The Help, I thought it was a really good movie. I was like, oh my God, this movie's going to change lives.
This movie ended racism.
A little bit. I mean, this was 2011, so I was 21. And I think that, like, now reading and learning some things about why the movie is kind of like a white savior situation and not the best film ever. I totally agree with those write-ups. I still think that Octavia Spencer did a phenomenal job. And I think the most iconic and maybe like legendary part will be her serving the shit pie. Like, we all know that part. Yeah. So
they use that. Think? I was gonna say they use that clip like still today on Oscar like best moments. I also love Octavia Spencer. She is the second most nominated Black woman for the Oscars. I think that this really helped jumpstart her career. She actually has been around for a while now, but that's what really got her a spotlight. And good for her, honestly. When I think of The Help, my first image is Octavia Spencer serving the shit pie. Do I think that the role itself is, in terms of like the movie and its legacy, is it something to really be worthwhile? No, but like you said, I was 20 at the time when it came out, and I too was just like, oh my God, this is an amazing film. Like, this is showing so much progress in the industry. And unfortunately, in a way, it kind of did, because it did really put a spotlight on both her and Viola.
Right.
So I guess there is that. So I don't know. It's kind of like mixed feelings. It's like, I do love her. I love the role. or the roles that she has taken on in the future. But The Help is probably one of my least favorite Octavia Spencer moments. Like
I would agree with that.
I was gonna say I loved her in Hidden Figures. I loved her in Ma. I loved her in Snowpiercer.
Shape of Water,
Shape of Water.
Dinner for Schmucks, her tiny role in Dinner for Schmucks. She's so funny.
That was the first time I really like paid attention to her. It's just like, who is this lady?
She's so funny, such a small role, and she ate it up. I think Octavia Spencer, and also I'm happy that she has been able to leverage her acting career to go and start producing. I think that's really cool, and I love to see that happen too.
Yes, because like the actress curse, I feel like it doubles down for women of color. They give you your Oscar and then you fall into obscurity. But luckily, she has broken past that. She is an Oscar favorite. They give her nominations like almost every other year now.
When she has a role, she wins it. Does she have an Oscar for helping produce the other movie that ended racism, Green Book?
I don't think she was part of the producers team on that, like in terms of like who won the Oscar, but that would have been great. Yeah.
Right. Well, because I remember her going up on stage for it and being like, Octavia, you were in Green Book. And I was like, what is she doing? But then someone was like, oh, well, she helped produce it or something. And I was like, oh, why was it so bad? No, it just was not, you know what I mean? I was like, it could have been better. I have a lot of love for her as an actress. Not my favorite role of hers, but is it iconic? Yeah, it's iconic.
Yes, absolutely. I think the only other person who could have won that year, I think maybe Jessica Chastain, but like,
also did a great part, like did so well in that role.
Oh yeah.
And also what a heartbreaking role.
Yeah,
like so sad. But
what's also funny too, because it's like her and Bryce Dallas Howard were in the same movie. I'm just like, who?
Oh right. It's like, wait, they're it's like an Eddie Murphy moment. She's playing all the roles. Like,
right. All right, and we are at time for Octavia Spencer in The
Beautiful.
Help.
We had a lot to say.
We did have a lot to say.
Listen to that alarm. Oh my God, that was
one thing
that was triggering. I was like, I have to get up now.
Yeah. I was like, one thing I will say, we did not say fear it or queer it.
Oh, I'll queer Octavia. I'll queer Octavia's performance. Yeah. I fear the movie.
I queer it with a period because the period is just based off of the movie itself. So, all right, on to the next one. Are we ready?
I'm ready. I'm interested to see what you have to say about this.
Me too, actually. All right.
Okay.
Clock is starting in 3, 2, 1. All right, now we have 2012's winner, which is Anne Hathaway as Fantine, otherwise known as Fanta, in Les Mis. Cal, what do you think?
Okay, maybe unpopular opinion, I don't know, but I feel like Anne Hathaway has gotten so much flack for, I don't know why. Because I started to like look back, like I recently rewatched The Princess Diaries, and I was like, I really love Anne Hathaway. And then she was just on RuPaul's Drag Race, and I was like, why did she get so much shit from so many people about different things? Like, she's a good performer. I have never watched her be in something that I've gone, wow, she was bad. She's always been good. The movie may have always been good.
Yeah.
Always been good. I think people sometimes rag on others because it's like almost like making fun of their passion in a way. I think that she was so deserving of the Oscar for this performance. I think that I like Les Mis. Maybe another unpopular opinion, I like it as a musical. I think the movie is just kind of long. I know a lot of people who are big theater people don't like it. And that's okay. I enjoyed it. I think that her role is the only thing that you really need to see in order to kind of get the gist. Maybe even Samantha Barks On My Own performance is also very good. But I think Anne Hathaway totally deserving of this performance. I like the film. And honestly, out of all these performers, I would say one of the most recognizable and iconic performances. Because it was just, it's like lightning in a bottle. It was very much that moment. We needed Anne Hathaway to win. And she went for it.
If Anne Hathaway didn't if she wasn't in that role, I think Les Mis would have been an abysmal movie. But she single-handedly, I feel like, saved it along with Samantha Barks.
Yeah.
I thought that her performance is great. I do
Mhm.
agree that I don't understand so much hate around her.
I didn't know if you hated her or not. That's why I was like, I don't know.
No, I love Anne Hathaway. I mean, most of
Okay.
it's because of my love for Devil Wears Prada, and The Princess
Also
Diaries.
good.
And
Yeah.
also, I will say this: she had a fantastic year that year because she also, and this is my unpopular opinion, she played Selena Kyle in The Dark Knight Rises. If you would have given her an Oscar nomination for that role too, I wouldn't have been mad about it because she also was the best part of The Dark Knight Rises.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Now, granted, I'm saying this as a gay man, saying that Catwoman was the best part of the Batman movie. Sure, like, okay, like,
Yeah.
not far of a stretch here, but she is very talented as an actress and underrated, and people don't remember of how, I feel like, how funny she can be.
I think she does funny really well. Like, was it Ocean's 8 where it was like the like ladies Ocean's movie? The movie was kind of a stinker. She was the best part. She was so funny because she played full of herself so well.
Right.
It was like she was in on the joke with us as an audience. So I really like Anne Hathaway. I think that she was totally deserving of the Best Supporting Actress Oscar. And the only other person that I think may have done also a really good job would have been Sally Field for her role in Lincoln.
Right. But that was also the year that Jackie Weaver was nominated for Silver Linings Playbook. And I'm just like, really?
Well, we all make choices. And I like Jackie Weaver too. I like Jackie Weaver.
So, I like her in like Animal Kingdom, sure.
Right.
But, Silver Linings Playbook, I was just like, she was like probably one of the least memorable performers.
I mean, but Silver Linings Playbook, then Jennifer Lawrence would have won that year. So that was a bit of a weird year, I guess.
That was
at
a
the
weird
Oscars.
Year.
But like I mean, Sally Field also did really well for Lincoln when she has the breakdown. I'm just like, girl.
I mean, Sally Field's also phenomenal. Like,
I like her. I really like her.
I do. I like you.
But yeah, I love Anne Hathaway. I don't know why people don't like her. She hasn't done anything problematic, right?
No, I'm wondering if it was because like she was so exposed that year as Catwoman, as Fantine. I feel like maybe people were just like, I'm sick of you. Like,
just being a hater.
Yeah, and speaking of which, this just goes to show that cancel culture has been around forever. Like, people try to cancel Anne Hathaway just because she was a very talented woman.
And was in a lot of movies, I guess. I don't know. Like,
I don't know. Yeah, no, and out of all of them, she is by far one of the most iconic roles. So when we get to our ranking later, I will I'm actually kind of surprised myself at how high I ranked her.
Yeah, I kind of have like this re-emerging of love for Anne Hathaway, I think.
And that's just saying because I hated Les Mis. That's just more of it. Like, I just hate Les Mis.
That's fair. That's the thing is, like, I know people didn't like it, but I liked it. Okay. And time.
We're at time. All right.
We're at time. All right.
All right. Before we move on, fair to queer, Kyle.
I'm going to queer it.
I'm going to queer it with a lovely little heart.
Oh.
So, yeah. All right. 5 minutes on the clock. On to the next performer. Okay. 3, 2, 1. All right. Now we have 2013's winner, Lupita Nyong'o as the slave Patsy in 12 Years a Slave. This one is a lot to unpack.
Yeah. I agree. Let's start unzipping the zoo cases. The zoo cases.
You are wasting our time.
let's unpack it. Get the luggage open. I am wasting the time. But here's the thing. Lupita as an actress, love her. I think that she is one of the most elegant and beautiful just creatures on this planet. 12 Years a Slave as a film. Important movie. Hard to watch movie. Does not give me the warm fuzzies. She is amazing in it. She's so good in it, but it's almost like traumatic in a way. I think like it's a very traumatic role, and it probably was a lot for her to get into the role. I think that she is deserving of the Oscar. I think she really was the only one. Yeah, she was like really the only one that I would have given her the Oscar that year. But that being said, the role of Patsy the slave in 12 Years a Slave is a hard one.
Yeah,
It's hard to watch.
it is very hard to watch. And it's
The
interesting
whole
because
film is like a trigger warning.
right. Oh, definitely. Well, the hard thing is too is that like obviously, I guess one thing you can argue back against that is the fact that I mean this did definitely happen.
Mhm.
You know, it's important to highlight the dark, terrible things that Americans have done over the years. And she was phenomenal in the performance.
Mhm.
And it will go down in history as like one of the best Oscar performances ever, like
Yeah.
easily. I do agree. It is it's hard because it's like you want to say you love this performance, but you don't. You know, you don't love Lupita Nyong'o in 12
Right.
Years a Slave. Like you
It's
love her for
y-
her.
yeah, you love her for her. I mean, the role, I think it's just the role is so sad and so passionate, and her playing Patsy is almost like childlike, and then having these atrocious abuse and just torture happen
Hmm.
to her is so hard to watch, and she plays it with such, I don't, it's sad. I remember crying watching, I guess trigger warning, but the whipping scene.
Hmm.
I was crying, and I was on a date. Yes, I dated someone who wanted to go see 12 Years a Slave with me. Um,
God, your dating life.
I
It's like a
know,
it's like a
I
David
know.
Sedaris book.
Oh, 100%. I love David Sedaris. But yeah, we were sitting there watching it, and I was just like crying with my boyfriend at the time sitting next to me because he was like, "Oh, I really want to see 12 Years a Slave." I'm like, "It's not a romantic movie.
Right.
It's not a romantic film," but she's phenomenal in it. And yeah, I really enjoy Lupita. And also, iconic, her coming and looking straight up like Cinderella to the
Hmm.
Oscars.
On the Oscar
That
night.
that gown, one of the most beautiful gowns. I think the gown will go down in history as for the Oscars. I think she'll go down in history as one of the best performers.
You know, one thing we don't actually talk about either is their Oscar speeches, which I feel like actually
Mm-hmm.
one of the best Oscar speeches of all time. It was
Yeah.
so beautiful to watch. Brad Pitt was in tears. Michael Fassbender was in tears. Like just watching, but this was her debut performance, wasn't it?
Yes, for American audiences. She was in kind of like this like soap opera like drama show in Africa.
Okay.
Um and it was kind of like I would say like a Melrose Place, but like set in Africa sort of vibe.
Okay. That's
So
cool.
she was in that, but it was like her breakthrough performance, and literally every performance since then. The Queen of Katwe, Black Panther. She
Hmm.
literally is always so
Us.
good. Us. Oh my god, phenomenal,
Talk about robbery.
phenomenal.
She should have been nominated for an Oscar for us. Just
A hundred
saying.
percent, 100%.
Yeah.
They were probably afraid she'd win. Honestly, she was so
Or that she'd kill
good.
them.
Oh my God, Us. She is such a phenomenal performer, and I can't wait. I just want Lupita to be in so many things. And talk about variety. You
Hmm.
have, superhero movie, you have historical drama, you have horror, you have like light family,
I was gonna say you even have like Disney flicks. Like,
yeah, like Queen of Katwe.
yeah.
So like honestly, she is such amusing, amazing performer.
Ah,
Oh,
and we're out of time. All right. Fear it or queer it.
I'm gonna I queer Lupita, I queer the performance. What I fear is the fact that there is a tendency for a lot of the white men in uh the academy to continue to only nominate black performers for playing roles of maids and slaves.
Hmm.
I think it's
Yeah.
changing a little bit, but
I was gonna say that is a very good point.
yeah, so I
Which we
fear
can
that, but I totally queer who she is and the power she has.
agreed 100%. All right.
Yeah.
On to our next one.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I got a lot to say, so let's go.
Me too. All right. Three, two, one. All right. Now we have 2014's winner, Patricia Arquette in Boyhood, playing the mother, Olivia Evans. And as you all know, that movie took place over like a 10-year time frame. So,
Yeah. And it
Kyle, what
felt
do you
like
think?
it. It felt like
Yeah.
it. I remember everyone going to see it, and a lot of, I mean, it's 2014, so I was still talking to a lot of people who are part of the film school that I went to. So there's a lot of like film bros that were talking about it, posting about it, telling me, oh my God, Kyle, like it is such an achievement. You got to go see it. Oh my God, Boyhood is so good. And then I watched it and I literally came out and I remember saying, that wasn't my Boyhood. Like I was so disappointed, and maybe it's because the level was so high for me because everyone was saying how phenomenal it was. But for me, it was just kind of like, I don't know, like a weird, like masturbatory, like, oh, look at the accomplishment I can do. And that's the thing. I like Richard Linklater. I love School of Rock. The Before Sunrise series, I think, are really beautiful films. This just like missed the mark for me as a film. And I can appreciate the achievement of filming over a span of time and putting it all together, but that doesn't mean that it was good. Like the narrative was not good. And I get also being like, well, it's just kind of like, you know, a look into the lives of this person. I don't give a fuck. Like you like it, I don't know. It was just like not for me.
I literally said, oh, sorry. I was gonna say, I
go ahead.
literally said when I watched that movie, I literally was like, I feel like I'm just watching someone's really long home movie. Like, I was just like, yeah.
Like even like production. And again, I get that it was filmed over like a 10-year period. So obviously like cameras and cinematography develops. It doesn't look nice.
No.
Like it's not like a well like filmed situation. That being said, Patricia Arquette, I think she's a great actress. I get it. And I get that she is like an ally to a lot of people. You know, her sister was trans. But
rest in peace.
Rest in peace. But I also get this like weird vibe that like when she gets up and does her speeches, it feels very like white feminism to me. And very like women are going to do it. And hey, like, yeah, we just had women's International Women's Day a few, recently. So I get it. Like, yes, women accomplishment. I'm all for that. But somehow like when Patricia Arquette, a famous white woman of privilege, says it, I'm just like a little like, okay.
Right.
So no, I don't know.
I agree in a way. Because at the time, that was also like the birth of the gif of like Meryl Streep like going like yes. Because Patricia in her Oscar speech was talking about paying women equally to men, which 100% totally agree with that. But there's so many other aspects that I feel like in terms of like feminist needs right now that I feel like were overlooked in that speech, and that doesn't really apply to like intersectional racism of feminism and things like that. So yeah, I agree. It definitely came off as just like a feminism 101 like class. Like, you know what I mean? Also, this is really petty of me, but like I hated that she like read her speech off of a sheet of paper. I don't know why, but I'm just like, that looked like
she couldn't remember if you should pay women equally, I guess. That's my thing. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't feel like it's from the heart. And her performance was fine, but she plays a mom. And that's the thing is, if you know me, you know I love mom characters. Like I love mom characters. Not her mom.
Not her mom.
Also
you are not my mom.
You are not my mom. This is not my Boyhood. Do you remember the part in the movie where the guy who runs the restaurant is like, hey, I was a lawn worker for you, and you told me I should go to school because I was good with numbers. Now I run this restaurant. And it's very like a little bit of like a weird white savior thing, and also like this random white lady from the suburbs encouraged this person of color to go get a degree.
It's like the abbreviated version of The Blind Side.
Right. I was like, what a weird like, oh, we should put this in the movie. It felt kind of like an afterthought.
Right.
But I guess that's what happens when you film something for 10 fucking years.
I guess they're just like, we got to add some diversity and flavor into this movie.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. The problem is with that movie, well, that year in general, is that I feel like the category itself was kind of weak. Like we had Meryl Streep Into the Woods. We had Emma Stone in Birdman.
I liked Emma Stone in Birdman.
I did. But like,
any
of these Oscar-worthy performances to me? No, not at all. Like, especially Meryl. I'm sorry.
Well, we had a lot to say. We
did. All right. Fear it or queer it?
Fear it.
Fear it.
With my full chest, fear it.
Period.
Yes.
All right. On to the next one. Are we ready?
I think so. I got things to say about this performance too.
I do too.
Mhm,
All
mhm,
right,
mhm.
3, 2, 1. All right, now we have 2015's winner,
Yeah.
Alicia Vikander, in what was it? The Danish Girl as Gerda Wagner. I'll let you go first.
Okay, I'll go first. So here's the thing. I did not like the film. I think The Danish Girl is like one of those films that they were really trying something. I think it was a missed opportunity to actually cast a trans performer to play the part that Eddie Redmayne ended up playing. I think that.
Did
Oh
Tom
God,
Hooper direct it? The same guy who did Cats? I feel like he did.
maybe I forget.
Anyway, go on.
I feel like narratively it just was not a very good representation of like I don't know, trans people. Like it was very like, oh, the model, like Alicia's part, she plays the wife, and her saying like, oh, my model didn't show up. Can you put on a dress so I can paint you today? And then like Eddie Redmayne's character being like, I might be a woman. Like that is so bullshit.
Yeah.
Like you don't just like put on a dress one day and think, oh, I'm
I'm
not
suddenly trans.
like I just think that it's
like maybe if I was gonna say maybe if they got in a dress and just like I should be a drag queen, sure, one thing.
but I think that it's just such bullshit to the trans experience to limit it to this kind of like outward obsession of like how trans people look or dress or navigate the world. And it feels like the movie was very surface level when it came to the trans experience, and it that makes sense to me. That being said, Alicia Vikander, I think, was the most interesting part of the film for me, because I think that she does do a really great job playing this wife whose spouse is transitioning before her very eyes and who still loves that person, but that person no longer really needs her. And how the film kind of does it is it almost feels like her being the wife who almost kind of like helped and encouraged the transition with, oh, put on the dress, or oh yes, do that, oh yeah, she's almost like left in the dust at the end of the film, because her spouse is no longer her spouse. And she doesn't necessarily get, at least from what my viewing as an audience member of the film, it feels like that character doesn't get the recognition of, I guess, helping her spouse become who she truly is. I think the film is not good, but I think that Alicia Vikander in the film is the most interesting part of it.
My turn.
That's what. Yeah, go for it. I got a lot to say. Just cut me
off. One thing I will say though is that I definitely feel like this was category fraud, 100%. Like she should not have been nominated for Best Supporting Actress. She had a lot of screen time in that movie. Like,
yeah.
I also feel like she also was kind of weirdly enough, even though it was about Eddie Redmayne's character, weirdly I do feel like a lot of it was her story, because again, like you said, you're watching her husband transform, and I don't know. There was a lot of factors going in behind it. Like Alicia Vikander was also like the it girl that year because she also starred in Ex Machina, which she totally should have been nominated for instead, like as Best Supporting Actress. If you would have put her role in The Danish Girl as Best Actress and then put her Ex Machina character in Best Supporting Actress, 100% agree with it. And I also would have said, yes, give her the Best Supporting Actress Oscar. However, because she wasn't, I don't think that she actually deserved this win, even though she was really good in the role. I really loved Rooney Mara's character in Carol.
In my notes, I straight up wrote down, I was like, I love Alicia Vikander, but I thought Rooney Mara was so superb. And I also really liked Rachel McAdams
in Spotlight.
I thought she did a great job too. It's not like revolutionary, but I was like, she was a solid performer in that.
It's like the definition of like supporting actress. Like I thought her role was really good too. And she also was like one of the highlights in a very talented cast in Spotlight. So yeah, there's a lot of factors that year of just being like, I don't know if like Alicia Vikander would have like should have won for this very large role.
Yeah,
you know,
she's good in it. Like she's good in a shit movie.
Yeah. Also too, where is she? Where is she?
Didn't she marry Michael Fassbender?
Did he imprison her after that? Like,
ooh, we have a lot to say about him.
I don't. Well, I mean, he's problematic in himself. Also,
Yeah.
Jennifer Jason Leigh in The Hateful Eight. Like, she's Jennifer Jason Leigh. Like, I
What
didn't
a
like The Hateful
crazy.
Eight.
I didn't like the movie either.
Damn it. All right, I didn't like it. I love Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, Fear to Queer It.
I'm going to soft queer it. A very, very soft queer it for her performance in a shit movie.
And I'm going to hard fear it for the fact that I 100% think that this is category fraud. And we do not like fraud here on this show. All right.
No, that's why Josh hates me. I'm a fraud. No.
It's like, why I hate your wig lines. Anyway.
Stop. I thought I plucked it really well. Don't comment on plucking my hairline. Don't even start.
No, I just love how long and luscious it is.
Oh my God. Thank you. I'm going to cut it eventually. I haven't cut it since October, the top of it. And she's getting a little wavy, but I really want to, I'm inspired by UK people, and I'm thinking I might want like an experimental UK haircut. I don't know, maybe a bowl cut. I don't know. Do you like this accent? Because I don't.
I was gonna say, what in the Adele versus like Lawrence Chaney versus like
Lawrence Chaney? I love Lawrence Chaney.
Me
That's
too.
A whole nother
All right.
episode.
That is. On to the next one. Are we ready, Kyle?
Yeah. I'm here for it.
All right. The timer is set in 3, 2, 1. All right. Now we have 2016's winner, Viola Davis as Rose Lee in the movie Fences, which she actually also won a Tony for in 2010 as Best Actress. Kyle, what do you think?
So let me just go say right off the bat, and I'm sure that I hope a lot of people agree with me, because if you don't, you're wrong. I think that Viola Davis is one of the best performers, period, of actress, no matter what, of our lifetime. I think that she is just phenomenal. I have said it on this podcast before. Someday I want her to just cry snot on me. Because like every time she gets emotional, she can do the tear snot moment. I love her. And the first time I saw her was in Doubt. And you have 5 minutes on screen, and she was nominated for Best Supporting Actress that year. I think she's great. This film is an okay movie.
Yeah.
I think that Fences is one of those things that...
I mean, it's very much a play movie.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You can tell that it was a play.
Yeah.
Which I don't hate. I don't hate that. I just think that it is what it is. Yeah. I think that she's phenomenal in it. And the only other I think she should have won. I love her. But
a very tough category this year. Like I will say that the women who were in this nomination this year, you have Naomi Harris in Moonlight. You have Octavia Spencer in what is it called? Hidden Figures.
Hidden Figures, sorry.
Yeah, you have Michelle Williams in Manchester by the Sea. And then you also have, who was the last one? Nicole Kidman in Lion. Like, all of them were great.
Yeah.
And Viola Davis somehow was able to make it out on top. She's phenomenal. I agree. She is one of the greatest actresses or actors of our time. I hate that people call her the Black Meryl Streep, because I think that Viola is totally different in her style and approach.
Meryl Streep is the white Viola Davis.
I was like, yeah. I mean, I think they're two totally different acting styles. Like,
but you know what I mean? Like they're just they as like acting colleagues.
Yes,
they're just.
I mean, they're
both
titans.
Great.
Like they're like,
yeah,
they lead the pack in terms of like great actors of our time. I think she deserved it. I wish that she actually would have won as Best Actress, because again, I do feel like she had a lot of screen time in that movie, but that's neither here nor there. This one is like actually well deserved.
And long overdue, I feel.
Yeah, long overdue. Yeah. And okay, so this is the crazy thing. Viola Davis has 3 Oscar nominations at this point here. She won Doubt, this film, Fences, and then also The Help. Now, she is getting a lot of Oscar buzz for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which would be her 4th nomination. And this is the crazy thing. If that's the case, she'd be the most nominated Black actress in history. Wow. With 4. Meryl Streep has 21.
That's crazy to me.
Just let that sink in, Now we do have people like Denzel Washington who were amazing, and he like
Mhm.
has like 9 Oscar nominations as a Black man, but like still
And
only
also
9.
he was amazing in Fences.
Yeah, he was also amazing.
Them together is kind of like movie magic.
Yeah, you're just watching both and like
Oh yeah, that is I guess why you would watch that film. Is it's not groundbreaking, but you're like, okay, like it's fun to watch. It's like a
like a
what do you
tennis
call it?
match.
A tennis match. Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very much that. Yeah, the only other person I would have thought could have gotten that award would have been Naomi Harris for Moonlight, because oh my god, the her spectrum of story of going from like the drug addict mother to being in rehab to just, it's so sad.
Yeah, that was a
but
really good performance.
but I do think that Viola is deserving, and she just hits it out of the park every single time. I mean, remember when we saw Widows, and I was like, I loved her, and people had so much shit to say about Widows, and I was like,
Widows was fun.
Same thing? I had fun.
Yeah. I was gonna say, and it's like, it's weird because when you think about it, like the premise of like Viola Davis like doing a heist film, like you're just like, that doesn't really seem like it matches, but it did. It did.
She does a great job every single time.
I would also argue that 2016 was probably one of the best years for like the Oscar nomination categories all across the board that year. Like you had Moonlight, you had Hidden Figures, you had that Isabelle Huppert movie, you had Arrival, you know, like that was just a fun year in general for me. So it was really cool to see one of my favorites
Land win. Would you oh,
we're gonna save it.
Just when I brought up a controversial yet brave comment, we are out of time.
You did that on purpose.
Oh yeah, I definitely I did, because I was like, oop, gonna make her, oop, we'll have to save it for another time. So Josh, fear it or queer it, Viola Davis?
Queer it with like 2 exclamation points.
I agree.
Yeah. All right.
I agree. No qualms.
On to the next one here. We only have 3 left. We're doing really well here.
Can you imagine putting a time limit on us and we're actually just flying through this?
Like we actually can like make it. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I feel like I'm a mathlete. Like time.
Right. You hold up your homework. Like you're just like, I did it.
Hold up my homework.
Yeah. All right. Next one in 3, 2, 1. All right. Now we have 2017's winner, Allison Janney in I, Tonya, as Tonya Harding's mother, Lavanya Golden. Lavanya? I don't know. Anyway. Kyle.
Well, here's the thing. I love Allison Janney. I feel like a lot of these actresses I just love. I, Tonya, and I know for a fact, facts are facts, that you love I, Tonya.
I love I, Tonya.
I
watched it 4 times in the movie theater.
I don't. That's a controversial yet brave comment. Do I think it's a good movie? I do think it's a good movie. Do I think the performances in it are good? I think they're fantastic. It was just more of a personal taste thing for me. I just felt like I needed a trigger warning for the domestic violence scenes, like seeing Margot Robbie get her head smashed into a mirror and then so cavalierly turn to the camera, breaking the 4th wall and be like, this is a typical thing for me. Like that situation, I was like, ooh, I'm not into, this is too much for me. That being said, even though I didn't really care for the film, I recognize its merit and I enjoyed how it was made. I think that Allison Janney was the best part of the movie for me. I mean, a chain smoking mother with a bird on her shoulder.
Right.
Like it's the perfect like character actress supporting, and her just constantly
looking like this.
I love that. Yeah. I love it. I think to me that's what like a supporting actress is. Like like you said, sometimes they're in the wrong category. They should be leading. This role is like the perfect side character.
Totally. She has like a great moment too. I was gonna say she steals the show at every turn, because there's a great moment where like she's gone for like 5 minutes and you only focus on Margot and Sebastian Stan's relationship, and like they literally cut back to her like in an interview cutaway. She's like, well, can we get the fucking attention back on me now, or something like that. It's very clearly made for a scene stealing actress, and I think Allison Janney was the perfect role for it.
We love it.
Also too, like Allison Janney's career is just like phenomenal in general, and I think that her in the Oscar category is, I think, well overdue. I mean, she has been like everyone's mom in movies for the past like 10 years, you know what I mean?
So it makes sense that she was on a show called Mom that's coming to an end.
Right. One thing I will say is that this one was also a tough year. So I would say that someone else could have won, and I
Who,
also would have
who,
been
who?
just as happy. Laurie Metcalf in Lady Bird.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Laurie Metcalf, another really phenomenal mom role. Again, I love moms. Good, bad.
Ma.
Ma,
Yeah.
hello, she bad ma. Um, but yeah, Laurie Metcalf definitely great. Another highlight in uh I liked Lady Bird. I know a lot of people didn't. I don't care. I enjoyed Lady Bird. I thought that, and I think that she's a great part in it.
It's funny because I didn't like it at first. The first time I watched it, I was like,
Mhm.
it's okay. I watched it the second time, I was like, I was wrong. I was really wrong.
I think it's a good movie. I think it's like a nice little like viewing point. But yeah, I agree. I think that what a good year. But I think that Allison Janney definitely was deserving. I think it's an iconic performance.
Hmm.
And just
She had
like
a
good
great
for
line
her.
in her Oscar speech too. She went up on stage and she's like, I did it all by myself. Like,
Yeah,
and it's just like that sense of like charm and humor too also just helps you win over like Oscar viewers. It's just like, yeah, you do deserve it, girl. Good for
very
you.
very charming. Actually, going through the list of like all the different movies and actresses like preparing for this episode
Hmm.
brought me so much like nostalgia, and it took me back to being like, wow, like 2016, 2017, there were some really good movies. Like, and thinking about like watching them for the first time, I was like, it made me feel all like warm and fuzzy. I really enjoyed that.
I know. I hate to say it, but like I have a lot of good memories at Landmark, our place of work,
Mhm.
because of going to see movies like this and being very excited about it and being like, "Oh, this will be fun," you know.
Yeah, the
So
pandemic has kind of jaded me a little bit when it comes to that.
oh, I'm
Where
sure.
where like I can't wait for the day to go and see a movie again and like have that memory and be like, oh yeah, they should win for the Oscar. Like seeing I, Tanya, I was like, Allison Jennings, she's probably going to win this.
Right. I
It's
feel
like,
like once the pandemic is lifted, I feel like since a lot of us will probably need like escapist fantasy, I feel like
yeah,
Oscar season will probably be really fun next year.
I can't wait to watch Soda Stream the musical, starring me, written
Yeah.
by me, produced by you.
Produced by me. Oh, thank you. You gave me the producer role.
I
Um
well, yeah, I'm not the one pulling shit together.
True.
I'm the star in their dressing room having a full blown break and just like I can't do it. Oh,
Time. And you could
look
not
at
do it.
that. I could not do it.
You could not do it. All right, Fear to Queer It.
I queer it. I queer it. Again, I, Tanya, not my favorite movie, but I think that she is perfection.
Okay, I'm glad that you were able to like get past the movie because I know you didn't like it.
I
So
didn't like it, but like I still I like parts of the movie.
time's up, man. All right, on to the next one. You ready?
Let me get my notes here.
All right, I am ready with my notes.
Ooh. Okay, 3, 2, 1. All right, now we have 2018's winner, Regina King,
Mhm.
starring in If Beale Street Could Talk as the mother named Sharon Rivers. Uh, yeah, talk about overdue.
Oh my god. I like first of all, love if Beale Street could talk. I think that I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart. Who is the director? He did Moonlight.
Barry Jenkins.
Barry Jenkins, thank you. Oh my god. I think that Barry Jenkins just he makes these films that feel like you're watching poetry, and I think that's so powerful. Like Moonlight, pure poetry. And I
Mhm.
would say the same thing about If Beale Street Could Talk. It's like you're watching a beautiful poem, even though these horrible, tragic things are happening to these characters.
Mhm.
Um,
Well, it's based off of a James Baldwin novel, wasn't it?
right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
So yeah, there's gonna be tragedy there.
oh yeah, and I think that Regina King, as the role of the mother, I love a mom character.
Hmm.
She to me is the backbone of the film. Um, she's probably the most recognizable performer in the movie.
Hmm.
Uh, when it comes to like A-listers, and she just the role isn't super outlandish. It's not over the top, but I will say that I'm so like I love that role. I think that she is trying to take care of her family. She's trying to hold it all together. And it's not, I love Viola for her snot crying, but Regina King's kind of quietness and control I got goosebumps.
I was gonna say
I have
it's all
goosebumps.
in her eyes. Like it's all in her eye contact of like other characters and like what you see behind it. It's so
Yeah.
phenomenal. One thing I
Yeah.
will say about Regina King, I think Regina King's career in general is a great highlight of when it comes to white audiences of what they find acceptable and what they want to hold prestigious, because Regina King has been around for a long time.
Yep.
And she has been, she has been such an icon for Black audiences ever since 227, but white audiences weren't getting behind it. Like they were just like, like we have Viola Davis, we have Octavia Spencer, like we're good, And if I feel like for me, it wasn't until she won for American Crime and at the Emmys, and she wasn't
another phenomenal performance.
Right, she wasn't even expected to win, so it was like a really nice surprise win that white audiences saw the Emmys were just like, Regina King, she is great, And then I feel like she's now had this great momentum of like a second career surge.
Yeah.
I mean, she's getting hyped to be nominated for Best Director in her debut directing performance in One Night in Miami for this year's Oscars. And I say, yeah, long overdue and well deserved. And that's just based off of like just her as a person. I also agree the performance was phenomenal and very subtly tragic.
So tragic. But like also hopeful, I guess. Like I don't know. It was nice to see a performance where it wasn't all trauma. It's not like again, Lupita, love. And again, but that's like trauma. And then Viola's was kind of like a slow burn and then the explosion of crying. Where Regina King's is, it's so quiet and so strong, and complicated and beautiful. And again, the backbone of the film for me, she has this beautiful monologue at the beginning of the film, and that just carries through the themes throughout the movie. And
she's not playing a maid. She's not playing a slave.
She's playing a mother in what was it, the 60s?
Yeah, 60s America. Like
it was, so dealing with racism, obviously, but also like it is about that, but it's not about that. And if you haven't watched If Beale Street Could Talk, I believe it's on Hulu. So do yourself a favor, watch it.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful, and it gives me goosebumps. Just like no spoilers if you haven't watched it, but when she goes down to Puerto Rico to confront the woman, it's so quiet and such a small moment. I was like, oh, like I can't imagine being that. She does such a good job because you can put yourself in those shoes, and you're like, I can't imagine being that mother.
Oh yeah, exactly. And like the fact that she traveled so far just for like a little opportunity of just like some clarity. And yeah, it's great. It's such a great role.
It's great. And her career definitely, it's like she hasn't really had like a super big roller coaster. I think she was just like, it's very like roller coasting, going up, but very slowly. And now I feel like she's taken off. And another performer who has now transitioned into directing and producing.
And good for her on that.
Good for her.
Yeah. And I will just say I queer it.
Queer it, 100%.
Yep. All right. We made it through 9 actresses.
Oh my God.
And we only have one left.
I love it. I love being decisive, and I have things to say. Like I always think, and I know I've said this before, if I was on the stage of RuPaul's Drag Race and they said, who is supposed to go home tonight? I get it. The drag queens are always like, I don't know. Like, I'm really like, they're my friends. I know exactly. I'd be like, Shangela and Shangela, go the fuck home, like Raja.
Right.
So I love the decisive, like, I like this for this reason. They should have won this. I love that. So,
right.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That would have, go ahead and, so sorry. I ordered, some hair cutting shears. We get it, Amazon. Oh,
I thought that was a harmonica.
My window's open. I'm so sorry. I ordered some hair cutting. This is live. But I
from New York.
Live from New York. It's Saturday night, Kyle. It's just me on the couch eating pizza. But I ordered some hair cutting shears because I'm in need of a cut.
I was gonna say it's ready. She's ready.
She's ready.
Yeah.
UK hon. Okay.
All right. Ready for the last one?
I'm ready, Freddie. Let's do it.
All right. 3, 2, 1. All right, now we have 2019's winner Laura Dern as the marriage divorce lawyer Nora from Marriage Story. Kyle, what do you think?
Uh, I have homosexual tendencies, so I obviously love Laura Dern. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know anyone who's like, oh, fuck Laura Dern. She's great. I love Laura Dern. Blue Velvet, Jurassic Park, and A Marriage Story. Like Little Women.
Wild.
Wild. Yeah, she's a great performer. A Marriage Story. Possible unpopular opinion. I very much enjoyed A Marriage Story. I know that a lot of people did not like it. I think Noah Baumbach is a great director. He's made some of my favorites. Squid, Squid and the Whale, Frances Ha, like these movies that like I know people don't like, but I enjoy kind of like more character study type things.
Mhm.
And for A Marriage Story, it felt very cathartic for me to see these people kind of work out their like through their divorce, even if you like those characters or not, and then kind of see there's like a little bit of humanity at the end, even though they're not together. There's still like a quiet kind of appreciation for them.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I would argue against the film is that it's literally just Kramer versus Kramer, but like in 2019.
Yeah. It's not like that's the thing. It's not a revolutionary film whatsoever.
Right.
But I think the performances, including Scarlett Johansson, she does a great job. Adam Driver does a great job. I can't take that away from either of them. I actually think that he was phenomenal in the film.
Oh, he easily was the best part.
He ate up every single scene. Is she good in the movie? Did you think she was good in A Marriage Story, Laura Dern?
Yeah.
She's good.
It wasn't my favorite like type of performance, but it's very much just like a modern day like Aaron Brockovich type like hard driven woman, and they have this great sassy monologue about like how women have to do twice as much as men to succeed in the world and yada yada.
I think she won because of the monologue, because I was like, the performance is good, but the monologue, that's like a great monologue, and I feel like Oscar voters, like the Academy, was like, oh, we see you. Okay, you're winning that.
Right. Like, I feel like there are two like types of, well, I feel like she won for two different reasons. One is that because Oscar voters are just like, oh, that's a good way to show inclusion. We'll do that. And we'll show the clip at the award show. Two, Laura Dern's legacy. Obviously, like, she definitely deserves an Oscar. Just based off of her overall career. Do I think Marriage Story was the one that she should have won it for? Probably not. But
I agree with that.
I'm not mad about it.
I'm not mad either. Like, I'm happy that she has an Oscar. Now, I will say that 2019 also brought us Florence Pugh fever, and I think Pugh fever, pew pew, Florence Pugh Pugh, and I think that Florence Pugh's role in Little Women was also really a fabulous performance, and one that I hadn't seen. We've seen Little Women done many different times. But I've never been able to appreciate that character that she played. What was it?
Amy.
She's Amy. Thank you. So I always think just like Joe, since she's the main character. But like usually Amy's just like a brat, and I felt like she brought such a complexity to it. So I would have given it to Florence Pugh also. But I think
because Kirsten Dunst played it in the '94 version, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
I was gonna say the juxtaposition between the two different characters is like two different women. I was gonna say Florence Pugh, also a great Oscar baity role, because again, there's another monologue about how the struggles of what it is to be a woman. I agree. I do think Florence I would have given her my pick for that year. Now, granted, a lot of it is based off of the hype train of just like, oh my God, she's amazing. We saw her in Midsummer. We just saw her in Little Women. But I'm not mad that Laura Dern won at all.
No, I'm not mad that she won. I think she was totally deserving of the win. Well, I think she's deserving of an Oscar. I don't know if that role, it just kind of felt like they gave it to her in a way.
Yeah. That was also the year that Scarlett Johansson was nominated for the first time in two different roles. She played the mom in Jojo Rabbit and also Marriage Story, what we were talking about. Weirdly enough, I was just like, these were like two of my least favorite Scarlett Johansson roles, and I'm just like, I was just like, oh, really? These two? Like, over like Under the Skin and Lucy and all that, you know? I don't know.
Under the Skin. You got Under My Skin. I got a lot to say about that.
Yeah.
So Josh, do you fear it or queer it when it comes to Laura Dern Marriage Story?
A soft queer it. It's a queer it with a little marshmallow around it because it's soft.
Yeah. We love a little marshmallow. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Not revolutionary. I love Laura Dern.
Who doesn't love Laura Dern? I mean, like straight men, I guess. I don't know. Anyway.
I feel like they don't get it. They don't get the hype.
No. But it's like, I can't remember. There was like an Instagram account. Sorry, I'm going to go break the rules here. But there's an Instagram account that talks about like the two Lauras and how they switch off in their careers. And it's Laura Dern and Laura Linney. Like when one shines, the other one slumbers. And then like it's like vice versa.
I love both of them too. Yeah.
They need to star in a movie together. All right. Now, since we completed all 10 of the Best Supporting Actress winners, we are going to rank them 10 to 1 here. And this is where our controversial opinions might jump out here, if they haven't already.
Controversial yet brave. And I'll say that my ranking for these is based on who I think deserved, or if I think the award was deserved for these actresses or for these performances, and how much I enjoy the film itself. It has nothing to do if I love the actress outside of those roles, because some of them maybe I rank higher or lower. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, mine was more just like a gut feeling, I guess. Mine was just more of like, this feels right to rank them at number 10 and so on and so forth.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, honestly, I was able to come up with it very quickly. I was like, yes. Yeah. Like it wasn't hard per se. I mean, once I get up to like the top 5, I was kind of like, all right, we have to make some
it gets
decisions.
kind of difficult. Yeah. All right.
But let's get into it.
Number 10, I have Alicia Vikander in The Danish Girl.
Number 10 for me, I have Melissa Leo in The Fighter.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna jump straight for it. I have Melissa Leo at number 9. So it's just like, yeah. The reason why I put Alicia Vikander at the bottom is just because, like I said, category fraud. So.
Oh, that's fair. See, I didn't even consider that. I'm just kind of going off of the performance itself. That being said, yeah, Melissa Leo, it's a fine performance. I just don't, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
She's
my number 9, so I don't disagree.
yeah, she's just, I think that's kind of a terrible place to be, as if we're just saying, oh, you're fine.
It's better be bad than boring, like you say.
Better to be bad than boring. I'll remember a bad performance.
All right, number 9 for you.
Number 9 for me is Patricia Arquette. Because I hated Boyhood. And I think that I'm almost like frustrated because I think that she's a better actress than the role that she played. And still won for. I'm just like, I'm not into it. So she ranks pretty low for me on this list. But hey, she was great in Medium.
Yeah, she was. That's true. Too bad it wasn't a movie. So I agree with my number 9. It's Melissa Leo, The Fighter. Nothing special. I'm gonna jump ahead because my number 8 is Patricia Arquette in Boyhood. And
work. Okay.
100% agree with everything you say. It's unfortunate that her legacy as an actress has now kind of put on with Boyhood. Like a lot of people just like call her the Boyhood mom, and it's just like, Anyway, what's your number 8?
Number 8 for me is Alicia Vikander. Because I liked her performance in The Danish Girl. I just don't like that movie.
That's totally fair. Yeah. All right. Lucky number 7. I have Laura Dern in Marriage Story. And it's mostly just because of what we just said. Great actress, okay role.
Bitch.
Is that what you have too? Yeah.
Yep. Number 7. I guess when you said lucky number 7, lucky Laura Dern, number 7. At least she's there. Yeah. I'm not going to rank her super high. That's the thing is I love Laura Dern, but I'm not ranking her high in this list based on just Oscar winning.
No. Like if it was like overall career, she'd be much higher, but
Oh yeah. Well, maybe not that much higher, but
anyway.
There's a lot of people I like on this list. I can't help it.
That's true. All right. Number 6. I have Allison Janney and I, Tonya.
Okay.
That one was hard because I really do love, you know how much I love that movie. And I do love Allison Janney. The reason why I put her at number 6 is because there's someone who also could have won that year. Again, Laurie Metcalf, who could have won, and I would have been just as happy. And I did have to factor that in. So,
okay.
Yeah.
That's your opinion, and you're allowed to have that.
That's a choice.
Well, my number 6 is, I hope Ma doesn't come for me. It's Octavia Spencer.
In The Help.
Because I kind of based it on her performance, but also like the movie itself and how it's and how it's aged. So I'd rank her higher just based on personal love towards Octavia Spencer, but her winning for that role, I ranked at number 6.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Please don't kill me, Ma.
Ma. You just see her like buzzing the door. Like
she's like, come hang out with me. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Right. All right. Number 5. I have Regina King in If Beale Street Could Talk. And mostly the reason why is just because it's just not the most flashy role, which that doesn't necessarily mean that flashy roles are going to get you higher in my ranking. It's just that I think it's just a very solid supporting role. And so because of that, it just kind of fits right in the middle of best supporting actresses. She's great, but I just couldn't put her any higher. So
this is it's interesting. So number 5 for me, I put Viola Davis.
Oh.
Which okay, so hear me out. Let me speak on it. Out of everyone on this list, Viola Davis is my favorite actress. Period. Hands down, she's number 1. But for her performance in Fences, I think it's a number 5 spot for me.
Okay. So it was like an okay performance for you?
I think it's a phenomenal performance. I just think that
you like the other ones better.
I think there's some others that just do a better job. Like the intensity. I don't know. It just was not my favorite. You know what it is? It's not my favorite Viola Davis performance. Okay, I've seen her do other performances. I'm like, oh God, give her an Oscar for that. For this, it truly deserved, and I'm so happy that she won. But it's a number 5 spot for me. But if we were just going on who we love the most, she'd be my number 1.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. That is fair.
I had to make these hard decisions. I just had to.
It's getting to the Sophie's Choice of Best Supporting Actresses. All right, number 4.
Oh God, and Meryl's not even nominated.
Right?
Number 4.
I have Octavia Spencer in The Help, and I 100% agree with you that it is not a good film. That she probably should, she should have won for like more deserving role and stuff like that in her later career, but I think it is one of Oscar's like most iconic Best Supporting Actress winners in the past 10 years. Like I said, they show it every award season. They show it on like a lot of movie like previews, and it's just always like that look of Octavia Spencer looking up at Bryce Dallas Howard after serving her the pie. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess for me, iconicness had to play a role here, and I don't think there's much more of an iconic role than Octavia Spencer. That being said, because the film itself, it definitely dragged her down to number 4. So
that's fair. Oh, so I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. My window is open, and the wind just blew over some of my Saint candles.
It's Ma. It's Ma. She's coming for you.
She's coming for me. I'm so sorry, Octavia. Oh my God, it blew over my pride flag. I'm good. I'm safe, but it's a twista. So
we have cows.
Number 4 for me. I don't want to rethink my decision.
Just say it. You already said it. Say what you say.
No. I'm not. I won't rethink it. But if we were to go off of purely the iconicness of what we think of as Best Supporting Actress, and not like personal, like, oh, I love this part for them. I definitely would have ranked Octavia higher, if not number 1, for iconicness of Best Supporting Actress. And that includes this actress at number 4 for me was Anne Hathaway. Because I also think that Anne Hathaway is kind of the most iconic Best Supporting Actress in the past 10 years. I did not rank her as number 1 because I just preferred some other people's performances a little bit more, but not by that much more, just a little bit more.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. It's your choice, you know, no big deal.
We're allowed to have opinions.
Yeah. Number 3 for me is Viola Davis in Fences. Powerhouse performance, truly deserved. I think Viola Davis, though, like, not saying the performance was bad, but I do think Viola won because she's Viola, not because of Fences. But because she is so powerful, her legacy alone bumped her up to number 3. So
fair enough. Again, I love Viola Davis. So like,
yeah.
I would rank her up there, but instead I ranked at number 3 for me is Lupita Nyong'o. Because that performance is so gut wrenching. That's where I put her, and that's where she'll be.
That's where she'll sit. I have my number 2 as Anne Hathaway as Les Mis, and it's mostly just because, yeah, like you said, Anne Hathaway is probably the most iconic Best Supporting Actress in the past 10 years, and not against the other women, but like when you think of Best Supporting Actress winners in the past decade, like your mind, I feel like immediately goes to Anne Hathaway and Les Mis. Like it was like the shoo-in of the year. Like you knew she was going to win. You know, the snot bubbles of I Dreamed a Dream just guaranteed her a win. And
don't make me start singing that. I'll sing it. Badly, I'll sing it. Don't make me as I dreamed a dream of time gone by. All
right, what's your number 2?
So my number 2 is actually Allison Janney, because I just love the mom role. Chain smoking with a bird on her, just like a shitty person. Hello. I see myself in it.
Representation matters.
Representation matters. Like white trash mom. Hello. I think she's phenomenal. I love kind of character. I feel like the term character actor and actress are kind of like weird because sometimes they imply that you are not like a legitimate performer. But in this instance, when I say character actress, I mean truly playing like a character. Like even though this person she's playing is a real person, I'm like, how? Like it feels over the top, but it's done so well. I'm fully behind it. So number 2 for me is Allison Janney.
Hey, I totally get it. All right, my number 1 for Best Supporting Actress of all time in the past 10 years, actually, I don't know why I said of all time, is Lupita Nyong'o in 12 Years a Slave. And that's mostly just because that film, that performance will go down in history books as like one to watch. Like it's going to be essential viewing. Not the funnest viewing ever for sure, but it's essential viewing. And yeah, that's it. That's a tweet.
Mic drop. Yeah. My number 1 is Regina King.
Aww.
Which seems kind of interesting, I know. Because I don't know how iconic of a role for that she won for is, but I think when it comes to the power and just momentum of her career, and also how much I loved If Beale Street Could Talk, I had to rank her at number 1. I would have
just have to go with your gut.
I have to go with her gut, and honestly, I probably would have ranked Lupita at number 1 if it was a different role.
Right, and she played like Patsy, I mean? The blues singer, like rather than
Right. And I'm just like, low key, I'm just kind of like, I don't want to give the Academy any leverage to be like, see, we only should nominate Black performers when they're playing maids and slaves. No. So
but that's a whole different conversation.
And I really adore Regina King. I'm so glad that she's getting her flowers now. I'm excited to see where her career goes, as well as honestly all of these actresses. There's not many who I dislike.
I think there were like 1 or 2 I could have gotten rid of.
There's like 1 or 2 that I just either don't like necessarily or I just didn't. They're forgettable.
All right,
that's okay.
This
was fun. I loved it.
Tune in next week when we actually do our best actress winners for the past 10 years. We're going to do round 2 of this. Kyle, where can people find us?
You can find us on the interwebs at Fear the Queer Podcast on Instagram, on Facebook. You can listen to us on Spotify, SoundCloud, and Apple Podcasts. Go ahead and like and subscribe us on YouTube if you want to watch us. Don't do it in high definition. Maybe just watch it on your phone when you're on the pooper, because we look good at a distance. Well, at least I do.
About this far.
Yeah. A little bit further away. Josh, if people want to contact us, what's the best and least best way?
Best and least best way. Well, the least best way is to send us a letter that then gets forwarded as a fax, that then gets transcribed as an email to us, because we'll never get it.
We'll never get it.
No, we'll never check our email. The best way to do it is to slide into our DMs, sis.
Ooh.
That's where a lot of people actually
slide into the DMs.
That's where a lot of people have contacted us. But like you said, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, follow us on wherever you can find a podcast, really. Just,
and give us reviews. Tell us you hate us or love us.
I was gonna say,
or what makes us feel good, because that's going to help others find us, and we want to connect to other queer people. Come on.
I would say one thing, if you guys are watching or listening, one thing that I would appreciate so much from you guys is to actually give us shout outs, give us reviews, point us in directions of podcasters that we might collaborate with in the future, because hey, the more we uplift each other in this community, the queer community, I mean, the better. So
round of applause for that, baby.
That being said, we are going to make sure to do another March Madness round of Best Supporting Actress winners. We're going to have you fear them or queer them. Check throughout all next week to view the stories, vote, see who's going to come out on top here. And then we'll do it again the following week for Best Actresses. Yeah,
really. If you're not following us on Instagram at Fear the Queer Podcast, you're only getting half the story.
Ooh, we just got copywritten. This whole episode is now canceled.
don't come for me, RuPaul's Untucked. Don't do it. Don't
all
do
right.
it.
As always, I'm Josh.
And I'm Kyle.
And I am the winner of Fear the Queer.
And I am the winner of a soda stream.
Bye.
You really love us. Goodbye. I'd like to thank the Academy for giving me
Kyle,
soda.
shut up. This is my time.
Oh, I'm best supporting podcast host.